how you kind of are in control of your own emotions.
You are.
And so it's with that mentality. Because if you start thinking negatively, you start thinking, all these things. You start thinking, I don't like this because it's, like it's all gonna become true.
How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Driven. In today's episode, we're gonna be discussing on why mindset matters. And I know I'm bringing up this topic because I think this past week, I saw a video where the title of the video said, why content creation is the new 9 to 5. And I know I saw that video because that's something I'm focused on within the business, focusing on building the brand, building up the social media, just media in general. And that video came across. I kind of had an idea what the video was going to be about. I clicked it, saw what the guy was talking about, the first 30 seconds, and I'm like, okay, I know where this is going.
Was it a YouTube video or
yeah,
a real?
It was a YouTube video.
So you clicked on
it was like a 5-minute video.
Okay.
I knew where it was going. And I just, started seeing the comments, and then the comments agree with the person.
So then what was the video about? Like, what did it pretty much talk about?
So, like, if you're an artist, you're a painter, and you start making money off your paintings, now you're kind of forced, or now you're pretty much with that sense of, that, I don't know the word, but you're kind of, in order for you to continue making money, you had to produce paintings. And I know, like, a lot of creative people within those comments, they're more of like, I like the creativeness because it just relaxes me, or I could express myself. But because I'm forced to make money, I don't like it anymore.
Okay, yeah.
And I know we were talking about it, that I knew where that video was going. And I think it stems from them having to make money from what they actually like. And if they're making money, and it's not just with paintings, it could be with media, it could be with social media. Maybe before they like to create short films, they like to create videos. But now because they became influencers, they're getting sponsorships, or they get money off the platforms because of the views they get. Now they feel forced, like they have to create videos every day.
But it's because they want to make money too, right?
Yeah.
Because as you were talking, I'm like, well, just don't. It's simplistic, but I'm like, not. The way you make money, I feel like you're not always gonna like how you make money. And so I think if you're gonna do it for just the creative purposes, I think you should just be for that.
Yes.
Because like just look at for example, Casey Neistat. He had for the first few years, I believe it was for the first few years, he didn't have his AdSense on for the first few million or several million views. Same thing with Graham Stephan. Yeah. He purposefully didn't put it on because he just wanted to do it because it was just fun and creative. He didn't want to think of the money aspect. And so I think if people go in with that mentality of also making money, with doing something that I don't know, honestly, like I don't even know exactly where I'm going with that. But I think people, if that's the case, I think people should just separate it.
I think we went too deep into the content creation, but
right.
What do you think about having the right mentality in general when it comes to if you want to start something? Should you change the way you go into it? The way you think. If you're like, man, I want to lose weight, and you're already thinking, but it's too hard. But I like food. But like, can I even get up in the morning to go to the gym to exercise? I don't have time. Versus, fuck it, let's make it happen. It's a new year, like I want to lose weight because I want to improve my health, because I just want to look good overall. Like, fuck it, let's make it happen. Do you think that also plays a role into how you get into something, or you want to start something, having the right mentality?
Going into something, the mentality matters, or the mentality is important? No, definitely, because for us, like going into business, our mentality was we need to make it work. It was more of like, we're gonna do that. We know what we had. We didn't know what we had to do, but we know what we had to do. Like we did it, and so that was the mentality of like we're going in for the purpose of like yes, making. Well, yeah, I think primarily it was making money, trying to make money, trying to retire my parents. So we went in with that mentality, kind of going all in and knowing from the videos that we saw, what it was going to take.
Right.
And I feel like it would have been very different if we would have been comfortable in life. Our parents would have been good. Going in, let's try this thing, because like I feel like it wouldn't, like I feel like we wouldn't, like anytime we hit some a roadblock, or something hard, all right, let's just go home and just chill, let's decompress. But we didn't have that option. No. And so the mindset and granted the environment was very different too, because we kind of were forced to.
We need to.
but it definitely has a huge effect as to whether something will work or not. And you know, from our experiences, like that going into that, like it has a huge effect. And so definitely mentality has another one. And similarly with kind of like how we were reading the book in the morning.
Yeah.
Like how you kind of are in control of your own emotions.
You are.
And so it's with that mentality. Because if you you start thinking negatively, you start thinking, you know, all these things, you start thinking, I don't like this because it's, you know, like it's all gonna become true. Similarly, like, and maybe that's one of the reasons why, and I'm trying to value myself too. Like, I'm like, I think in not in an egotistical way, but I think you've seen like glimpse of it from some of the things that I've said, like with you know, with people. I think to an extent, without ego, okay, with a little bit of ego, like highly of oneself.
No, I think it goes hand to hand because, you know, your mentality also kind of how you said the book that we were reading in the morning. Pretty much if you feel like, oh man, I'm too tired to do this, or I'm too sad, you know, like I'm sad.
Yep.
So I'll just, you know, take the day off.
Yep.
Versus like what we had to do is like, I mean, regardless, we had to make it happen, like do or die, sink or swim.
And another thing, like in yesterday, another example is I knew I was gonna have to meet with everyone in the company, with the production team, with the design team. Well, I didn't meet with 100% everyone, but I knew, like, I'm like, okay, like in my head I was like, you know, those things like the inner selves of like the introverted. I'm like, not, if I didn't need to or have to, like probably wouldn't, you know, be doing it. But I know that when I was having those times, I'm like, I know that's not good. So I'm like, all right, with the production team, like I started like pumping myself up. I started like, you know, this is something you have to do. This is exciting. These are people that you know, and it's kind of like just, and then just going in with that mentality of, you know, it's exciting. Let's, you know, let's push. We have a goal for this year. Going into that, it's like, it changes. It definitely, going in with that mentality definitely changed the outcome of those meetings, as opposed to, for example, like, okay, I kind of don't want to be here. I kind of don't want to do this, you know. Yeah. And so definitely, I think that's another example that I saw yesterday that where mindset matters a lot.
It also depends on who you hang around with, because they could change your mentality. Because if you're with people who and it's gonna go with
support you,
like support you, but support you in the wrong way. Hey, it's okay. You work too much. You're tired. Take the day off. Like, you shouldn't stress about work. You shouldn't stress about making money. You shouldn't. I'm like, but I want to. Yeah. I want to do it. Or like, hey man, you're working too much, bro. Like, you gotta calm it down. You gotta spend time with you know, for yourself. Hey bro, just play a video game. Like, hey, you know. In that way. It's like, it also does depend on who you hang around with. Because if you have people like, hey bro, like, come on, like, you almost hit that goal, let's make it happen. Hey, you're so close, like, just push, bro. Like, work that extra hour, you know. Yeah. Versus that, or like, hey man, you should, well, not that you should, because like, hey man, we gotta, you said you were gonna do this, I'm gonna hold you accountable, let's make it happen. What do I have to do? Do you want me to call you every so often to hold you accountable? So I think it also does matter who you hang around with.
No, it definitely does. We stopped hanging out with people
a lot of people. It's because it's not just one thing, it's not just mentality, it's like a lot of different things. But then it also goes back to what you value. Yep. Because if you value your not having to think about work all the time, or not having to improve yourself, succeed, and you just want to, you know, spend time and, you know, just chill, then do that. Yeah. But it goes back to a lot of things. Yeah. Not just one thing, but no, that's pretty much it. At least on mentality. Yeah. If you want to do something extraordinary, you have to have an extraordinary mentality. Yeah. And if you don't, then, you know, that's fine. If that's not what you value, then, you know, go for it.
Yeah. I mean, well, with that being said, in the comments down below, let us know how important you think mindset is. And with that being said, this has been another episode of Driven. My name is Juan.
My name is Alexis.
And we'll see you on the next one.